I'm starting the stream. Meow.
Use Rachel.
Yeah.
And we are live. We are live.
Okay.
Let me just move some things
Well,
over.
Karen's
Okay.
back.
Karen is back.
Karen's in the after show, but she's muted.
No, Ryan probably dragged her up here.
No, I didn't.
No,
I
he
didn't
can't.
move her. I didn't do it.
Oh.
I
are we
could if
starting?
I wanted to, but well, what are we doing? What are we doing?
No, you can't actually drag someone if they're not already in a voice chat.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
she chose
I
to go
see,
in
I see.
here, but
so
we don't
she
know
came
why.
in here. All right.
Okay.
So
She's
where
muted.
do you want me to go to? Because you picked the top 5 and I went through the video, right? So,
All right. Well, we'll do the runners up, but we'll do the runners up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, sorry, my back is really hurting.
So which ones are those? The ones that are not marked top?
Yeah, well, the ones that you marked top, but I didn't put a number by.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. Oh, all right.
International Women's Day stream.
Except okay. I'd like to do the cats and then just do the circumcision video, too. So maybe start with that one.
But the problem is I can't share that one. I mean, the people watching.
You can share the screaming. That's fine enough.
I can share the screaming. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So,
is it rolling? Are the people listening?
No, I haven't started it. Yeah, we're live, and I mean, there's nobody in the chat right now, but we're live. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going.
No one in the chat.
Yeah, no one's in the YouTube chat, or at least they're not typing anything. Let me see if there's a way to look and see who's in here. Participants, just us. Yeah, nobody's in here.
Did you put the after show in the? You might want to put the after show in the show announcements because I don't see it's there.
Yeah, the rant wasn't in there either.
Wait.
Yeah, no, the rant was in there, but the after show was in there.
Oh, it was.
Oh yeah, the rant is in there, but the after show.
I
think that might be. I think that might be why nobody's in there. Part of the reason. Did you put it through Patreon?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, well then that's not the reason, but you should probably put it in here.
Yeah, I'm getting it now. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, they're not missing much. We're just basically, flubbing. We're just basically, pile diving and sort of flopping on the floor right now.
Fudging. We're fudging around. That's exactly what.
Yeah,
the name of the show
We're
is.
fudging. We're doing the fudge dance.
Okay, so that is in. Let me go ahead and besides, if they watch this later, they'll still get to see the circumcision video. So you can just go back into the link and watch it. But anyway, moving on. Here we go.
Yes.
Next clip.
And a PS4, because men suffer from patriarchy in similar and yet very different ways. And I'm not saying that. He is.
What about all the boys who are profoundly affected in a negative way by what some adult man is doing against their mother, themselves, their sisters? What about all those boys? What about all the young men and boys who have been traumatized by adult men's violence?
He breathes kind of heavy when he talks.
What about all the boys traumatized by women's violence?
He does a lot of heavy breathing when he mentions boys. I don't know.
I'm speaking harshly. I forgot. Let me go.
Women are beautiful angels. But let's listen, because this is a boy or a infant boy being traumatized by a man's actions.
Right. So we're gonna go ahead and put the website up. This is gonna be a little hard to watch for you guys, but here we go.
Next, we make a slit in the foreskin, and then peel the foreskin back from the head of the penis.
Alright, I think that's enough.
Okay.
Okay, so there you go. A man doing something to a boy that everybody accepts, but this is the kind of violence we don't need to talk about.
Nope. Well, they haven't figured out a way to blame it uniquely on men yet. When they do, maybe suddenly circumcision will become a cause. Okay, so 123 did that one.
Sorry, guys. Did I freak you out with that?
No, I think we needed to hear it. All right, next clip.
You know what? The same system that produces men who abuse women produces men who abuse other men.
Damn. If that guy gave locker room pep talks, there would be no more locker room talk.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking dumb. All right.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
And it's like actually, in light of what we just experienced, she just looks extremely petty.
And 123 to 132, I think, or no, that was top 20. So we're going to
132 to 143? 144.
No, 144 to
Oh, it's 201?
201. Unless we want to just go through the rest of it, because we're probably not going to.
We're not going to get copyright struck for this, but
No, we're not.
Grown up
so
public.
what?
Somebody spoke? Okay.
No, I was just saying because it's not public, so you don't have to
No,
worry
we
about
won't.
problems.
So let's go to 132.
All right, 132. I went back a little bit before. But.
Who are more often the perpetrators towards everyone. So if we know what we have in common, what are the problems that are unique to men? While women are told to be obedient, that they're too emotional, and that they already have 3 crop tops exactly like that, what are the messages that men and boys get?
Growing up as a boy, we was taught
Wait a
that
second.
men had...
I don't remember getting the message to be obedient. What was the other message that I supposedly got?
To be... Let me go back a little bit. Oh, emotional.
And the
But
other
they're
thing
emotional.
is emotional. Okay, we're emotional and obedient. Well, here's the thing. Well, first of all, it could be an observation that women are more emotionally reactive. But regardless, is that part of our gender identity? Do we have to be emotional and obedient in order to be women? I mean, if we fail to be emotional and obedient, are people going to say, nope, you're not a woman anymore? You're just not. I mean, if I fail to be emotional and obedient, can any of you say, Allison, you're not a woman anymore? No, because being a woman is a function of my being physically adult and having a physically adult female body, or part of your brain that makes you think you're a woman. So this is it. Like this, even if women are told that they're supposed to be emotional and obedient, they don't have the same social pressure to be so, because they do not lose their gender identity by not being so. So everything that they say women have to be is a choice, because they don't have to be it in order to be women.
But don't men have to be obedient? At least, well, isn't there an expectation of men to serve and to be of use to people? And if they do that, is that not its
They
own
do
kind of
have
obedience?
to be obedient, and not only that, it is tied to their gender role. If you don't serve and protect, if you
You're
don't
not a man.
protect and provide, you're not a man. It's not a situation where that men have the same amount of choice. You know, I could choose not to be emotional. I can choose not to be obedient, and nobody can take away the fact that I'm a woman. But if a man chooses not to provide, a man chooses not to protect, a man chooses to not take the bullet for his girlfriend, he's not a man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shall we?
Yes, let's continue.
Know what we have in common, what are the problems that are unique to men? While women are told to be obedient, that they're too emotional, and that they already have 3 crop tops exactly like that.
I know that's supposed to be a joke, but I also think this is meant to kind of diminish the pressures that women have, so that they can make what men's, the dangers of being masculine more dangerous. I think the crop top thing is a segue to make this sound far more nefarious. Because listen to the messages that men and boys get is what I'm getting at. Listen.
What are the messages that men and boys get?
Growing up as a boy, we was taught that men had to be tough, had to be strong, had to be courageous, dominating, no pain, no emotions, with the exception of anger and definitely no fear.
No.
Well,
See,
maybe part of the problem is you grew up in an environment where, when you don't have economic options to provide for women, you have to be shown to be a protector. And there was a study that in those kind of situations, a man can improve his mate quality by killing another man. In those kinds of situations, he can prove that he can protect women by killing another man, and thus improve his prospects in terms of finding a mate. So maybe rather than looking at that as toxic masculinity, maybe look at that as toxic expectations of men.
Mm-hmm.
And also dominate, yeah, sure, other men, but you're dominating women,
Nah, no, that's you know who that is, right? That guy that was just talking. That's
Who?
That's the Penguin Man from The Mask You Live In. These are all guys that were considered primary sort of resources for that film. The Penguin Man was the black guy on The Mask You Live In that was talking about, you know, objectification and how dangerous, essentially how dangerous men are for women because of toxic masculinity. He was in that film. I remember you blew up at him. He's the Penguin Man. That's what you called him. So that's who that was. Okay. Anyway, should we move on? Great indoors.
Yeah, let's do the next one. Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, okay. Let's continue.
Oh, fear. Well, I guess that explains my older brother's fashion choices in elementary school. Also his crippling depression. And since the plebes among us still watch commercials, we know that real men should shave like a man, smell like a man, wash like a man / feel like a man, have the essence of man, and if you're ever tempted to drink something unmanly like sangria, instead grab a glass of Adam Carolla's Mangria.
Little red wine, little
Sorry,
vodka,
what the hell is wrong with this? Like, women don't do this? I mean, women do this so much that your stuff costs more. And you'll pay it. Like, seriously. What the fuck what kind of podium are you stepping onto, lady? You don't have any moral high ground here. But you will buy pink shit, you'll buy feminine shit. In fact, you won't buy things unless it is feminine. Like, what the fuck? And not only that, like I said, it's the point where there's an entire marketplace, an entire separate market. We want to compare the marketplace for things that are explicitly coded feminine for things that are explicitly coded masculine. I think you're gonna fail there, lady. You want to put all of those explicitly coded feminine things in one pile, all of the products that do that, and to appeal just to women, and all of the products to do that to just appeal men. Do you realize that the products that are just appealing for your desire to feel feminine as opposed to not masculine would be a mountain? And by comparison, the men's products are not only far less in number, they're also tongue-in-cheek in many cases.
Well, the advertising it's almost like, you know, we're having a laugh at the idea. That's why she showed the Old Spice commercial. The Old Spice guy is funny. That's actually what makes the product appealing. It's not that he's appealing to masculinity per se. He's actually making it cartoonish. You know, this Mangria thing. I actually want to try Mangria. This sounds actually pretty appealing, to be honest. But this Mangria thing is a joke. You know, Adam Carolla could have called it whatever he wanted. But I mean, you know, feminists they're allergic to humor.
Mangria.
Little red wine, little vodka, little orange juice, a little pixie dust, and pow, Mangria. But I'm telling you, it's good for what ails you.
Because whatever it is...
I just had a flash. So she's essentially associating with school shootings, Mangria. So anything that a man wants to do to separate himself from being female.
Yeah.
Anything that a man wants to do to say, hey, I'm going to take an identity from my male body or that I share with other men, which is sort of what this is, the Mangria. It's saying that this is for us because we're men, and not just because, you know, we've sufficiently shown that we are going to serve shit, but just for us because we're men and relax and have a Mangria. She doesn't like that. She doesn't like the idea that men have their own identity. This is what this is.
No, it is.
She fucking hates that.
Yeah.
She hates it. And she's going to associate it with violence. She's going to associate men having their own identity. Could you imagine if men's rights activists were really the reverse of feminists? Well, women using those Venus, I can't do a stupid male voice. Women using those Venus razors, that just encourages women to kill their kids.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That's how it leads to infanticides. It leads
to infanticide. It leads to women. Like, seriously, if we reverse the logic here, it would be so obviously not just apparent. It would be repulsive.
Yeah.
Like, you're associating harmless things that women do with, you know, a woman choking her child to death in a freaking back alley and throwing it in a dumpster. Like, what kind of right do you have to do something like this? To associate men just wanting to share this idea, that just wanting to share something as part of their identity, a fucking drink as part of their identity, just wanting to feel like, yeah, I'm a man, men like this kind of thing, I'm gonna like it. Just wanting that. How do you associate that with intense violence? You know, that's the real payload here, guys.
Yep.
It's associating any kind of situation where men say, hey, this is my identity. I'm going to enjoy this as a man. I'm not going to feel bad. I'm going to have a drink. It's going to be a mangria. You know, associating with their own identity in relation to their bodies. Like, and I think that's the real key, because everybody accepts the idea that men's identities should really be about how much they please the person next to them. Associating their identity with something like a biological feature that they have, that's what they don't like. And they want to associate it with violence in order to make it seem like men, even taking any kind of pleasure in their identity, is violence, is the equivalent of violence. This is despicable.
Yeah. This is why toxic masculinity is my least favorite feminist talking point. It's the thing that makes me the angriest when I hear about it.
It should make you angry. It should make everybody angry.
Yeah, it does. I find it disgusting. And also, it's like they could. It's obvious that this is what they're doing, because this video could have just focused on the problems that lead or could lead, that are contributing factors to mass shootings, without using toxic masculinity, without talking about, you know, corny comedic television commercials or misleading statistics. They could have like actually done the work and said, here are all the things that mass shooters have in common. Even if they were wrong about some stuff, even if they said something stupid like video games cause this or something. If the methodology appeared to be an honest attempt to figure out the problem to solve it, then I would be a lot happier with the video. Even if I thought they were wrong, I'd just say, well, you're wrong about video games. You know, like when people on the left tend to say, well, it's because of assault rifles, that they're too easy to access, and then people on the right say, well, it's because of video games or rock and roll music. I will say that they are both wrong, but if I think that they have an honest methodology to come to that conclusion, or they're using bad data that's been traveling in their bubble for a long time, then I could at least understand it, and I won't think that there's necessarily something nefarious at play. But when I see this, where they basically say, you know, we're going to talk about extreme toxic masculinity, but what we really mean is just masculinity in general is the problem, because we need to stamp it out in order to prevent any extremists to come out of it. That shit pisses me off. That is bullshit. And I'm going to find Mangria and I'm going to try it. Okay. It looks good. And I'm going to drink it on air. All right. Next bit.
Is it ails you now? Tomorrow, what ails you will be the worst hangover ever. I shouldn't have drank all this mangria. Dr. Drew, put me back on Loveline.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's like it's so bad. it's so bad.
Yeah,
all right.
That's an understatement.
I'm just gonna jump ahead to the next thing. Oh, I guess no, I don't care about that. 242. Oh, okay, yeah, here we go.
Thank God those messages just come from commercials and not the news.
I have some hard and fast rules for the way men should dress. No open-toed shoes, no jewelry other than a wedding ring or a watch, no highlights, and no makeup. And I am sad that we live in a culture where I actually need to articulate these things.
Okay, I'm just pausing that there. Okay, so
how is that toxic masculinity? Her articulating the things she won't accept in a man's appearance?
Well, she's trying to make the argument because when feminists, I think this is what she's trying to do. Whether she succeeded or not is a whole other discussion. when feminists talk about what creates toxic masculinity, they don't necessarily gender the culprits. So they basically say society does this to men. And of course, when they say society does this to men, it's like kind of this ethereal thing that you can't quite grasp. But a lot of the time they're saying men reinforce this in men. And conservative conservative women reinforce this in men. So basically the enemy of men is all men and conservative women. Because this woman is on Fox News, which they made a point to show. So you know that she's coming from a conservative standpoint, or at least that's what the narrative should be, because liberal women have no expectations from men whatsoever at all. They don't do that. And so she's basically trying to, there's a lot of other stuff happening here besides the discussion on toxic masculinity. There's an attack on conservative people. There's an attack on certain media. She throws Donald Trump in there for some fucking reason, at least twice in this video. It's about more than what it's about. It's actually not about the problem at all. To be honest, there's not about that at all. It's about how many people can we pin the tail on, as Karen put it, in 6 minutes or however long this fucking video is. Okay, what were you gonna say? You said you found something and then you started typing frantically.
Oh, did you put out the show to the people through Feed the Badger?
The after show.
Yes.
Shit.
You did do that.
I did. I forgot about the email. Yeah.
Okay, that might be why.
Well, we have people in here talking now.
Well, I would like to maybe put out the email as well, because
sure.
It.
Oh no, I hear you. I hear you. Want me to do it right now? I'll do it right now.
Sure, do it right now, and then I will. Okay, so we're at 140, 132 or no, one. Okay, I don't have notes for that.
I'll just jump to the next bit.
Okay.
So 144 to 201 I already read. We're at 302 actually. So we'll go to 326.
Okay, let's do it.
Control those flare-ups!
So society tells men they must behave in a certain way, but what about the ways they're told to behave towards women?
That men are superior, women are inferior. That men are strong, women are weak. That women are of less value.
What?
Property of men and objects, particularly sexual objects.
What?
This is the Penguin Man. Yeah.
You. Oh God, I had this to share for this particular part. There, the women are wonderful effect. It's a robust psychological finding. We associate more positive qualities with women than we do men. Men would preferentially save women. Men would preferentially benefit women. This is all bullshit. It's like, I don't even know how you can stand up a stage and say stuff that is so wrong and not be booed off. I mean, this is as wrong as some of the really out there freaking alien conspiracy theories. It's like, it's just flat wrong. And even if fundamentalist Christians say that men and women are complementary, if men have to take charge, they have to do so for the benefit of the women in their lives. And what does it matter if you're strong as a man, if you're expected to serve my weaknesses as a woman? That means your strength is my strength to dispose of as I will. And then he goes on, I think, to talk about how women were the property of men. Bullshit. Women were not the property of men. I have another reference that someone...
I got it right here. Ancient
I
Egypt,
know.
the Orient and Ancient Orient, Egypt and Iran, right?
Okay. So it's a download from Burrell's New Poly Online. It's a reference for classical studies, and it covers the status of women in ancient societies. I suggest that everyone who's listening to this, and this guy's never going to listen to this, I suggest you read it and never listen to people talk about how women were property in history again. Because it's bullshit. This guy is spouting bullshit. He He just thinks that he wants to be the one generation of men that ever thought, oh shit, maybe we should value the people who give birth to the next generation. Let's value these women. These are the first generation of men. Literally, he thinks he is the first generation of men to ever value women. And I want everybody listening to look at this resource. It's Brill's new Poly Online, and read the status of women. No, they didn't have the same status as men. In some ways that was restricted, at least legally. But remember, a lot of ancient societies and even medieval societies, the legal powers were limited. And women had power over the material existence, our material existence in its entirety. So just keep that in mind when you look at the legal powers of men, and think about how much power utility companies have over you. How much power does the utility company that delivers heat have over you? How much power does the water company have over you? How much power does the electricity company have over you? How much power does your doctor have over you? How much power does, I don't know, your ability to clothe yourself in winter have over you? How much power does even having shelter in winter have over you? Now, realize women controlled all of that in the past. And now look at the legal situation and ask yourself, maybe there was a reason for it. Maybe there was a reason they gave men a little bit more legal rights.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, this guy's full of shit.
He's massively full of shit.
Jumping ahead to the next bit. 340. Wait, here we go.
And that makes total sense if you've watched any TV or movies, since TV or movies were a thing. Men are encouraged to see women as headless body parts, sexy love interests who can and probably should be stalked, conquered, and kissed even though they don't want to be. And in practically every coming-of-age movie, a man...
Wait, what happened? My thing stopped playing. What the fuck?
Broke it.
Not all...
Broke it.
Let me... I don't understand. Hold
Not
on.
all...
I gotta jump ahead.
Are you getting hit with a copyright strike?
No. It's not that. It's just for some reason
the Facebook video?
The Facebook video is still there. Let me just try to refresh this thing. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry.
Not all men.
Okay, we got it. I got it figured out. All right, so now I'm just gonna jump to where I was. I don't know why I did that. That was strange. So 409. Oh yeah, right. Now we're coming of age movies and shit. Okay.
This is our last party as high school people. Just fucking come with me on this voyage and just stop being a pussy for once, and we can fucking fuck some girls already.
Yeah, I even got some of Adam Carolla's mangria, because girls can't resist masculine insecurity, blatant misogyny, or vomit. And all...
What the hell? Like, what the hell is... He didn't say rape. He said can have consensual sex with some women. What the hell's wrong? What is... You know, do you really want to live in a world, my dear, in which men have zero desire for women? Let's just imagine that. Zero sexual desire for women. We live in a world with an alien race that is taller, stronger, and has more endurance than us, and has absolutely no reason to give a shit. You want that world? Fucking idiot. And the other thing is that it wouldn't happen, but regardless.
No. It'd be nice to think
I don't
about,
think you
though.
need to... Sorry?
It's nice to think about. I actually wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, not a world where men decided, as a group, collectively, to just ignore women's whining. Just for a week.
It's actually worse than that. Like, let's just say, and here's the thing, she doesn't know what she's asking because she doesn't know what sexual desire actually does. It creates a sense of subjectivity. So when you desire someone, you feel that they have a person beyond you. It's sort of this weird recursion theory of mind going on, because you want to induce desire in a person you find desirable. But in order to do that, you have to be able to model their mind. So you have to recognize them as having their own experience. So there is no sexual objectification. There's only sexual subjectification when it comes to humans. So if you took that away, essentially men would stop recognizing that women have any kind of satience whatsoever. And of course, they would have no sexual desire for us. But, you know, being a stronger, larger, smarter animal, well, smarter in some cases, they might have other uses for us, maybe not sexual, but, you know, maybe mines, work in the mines, spreading tar on the roads, stuff like that, stuff that they don't want to do. After all, they could keep us under control with their greater strength, etc. I mean, this is just this entire line of argument where she's completely demonizing male sexuality and saying that it's horrible that it exists, basically, and associating it with school shootings in order to be able to demonize it, when all they're saying is, I want to have consensual sex with a woman. Let's go have consensual sex with a woman.
Apparently that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Apparently it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. She's an idiot.
Yep. All right, moving on.
All of that pressure takes a toll on men.
As a boy, all I wanted was to be accepted and liked by the other boys. But that acceptance meant I had to acquire this almost disgusted view of the feminine.
Okay, so how did that jibe with being expected to be heterosexual? I'm just going to put that there.
I thought I had to put on a show for everyone. I could not be myself, and I wanted to put on what society said was masculinity.
The fear of feeling anything is, if I start crying, I may never stop. I might just cry and cry.
Okay, well, here's the thing. This is all consistent with an identity of expectation of service to others. Nobody wants to see you cry because nobody cares about your emotions. All you are is a service to another human being. Like, and how is that to... You know, I don't want to say this to make people depressed. Like, Joey Jojo says he hates being male. And I don't know how to present this stuff in such a way that it's not depressing. But the thing is that to understand the dynamics here is a way of empowering you guys to be able to say, you know what, you don't get this control over my identity. You don't get to say these things about me. You don't get to say, essentially, that I am responsible for other people's expectations that I am responsible. And this is bullshit. All of this is bullshit. And what they're saying is that in a patriarchal society, man is defined by how well he protects and provides for others. As man is not defined by his needs, neither emotional or health-based. That's why these individuals are correctly pointing out that men are not allowed to express either. You'd think a society that benefits men over women, men would have more opportunity to ask for that benefit and have their needs recognized and met. And yet it's women who are constantly allowed to express emotional, material, and protection-based needs. So they're simultaneously saying that society benefits men and that all of you guys, you're benefited by society, but you can't ever express any of your needs. You know, you can't ever express any way that you would like society to benefit you, but you're totally benefited by society. It's just you get shamed every time you try to express a benefit or a desire for a benefit. It's just so full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. All right, moving on.
Emotionally masculine traits are taken to the extreme. You end up with what psychologists and journalists have called toxic masculinity.
Psychologists and journalists. Well, that makes it official then. All psychologists, right? Or 97% of psychologists, kind of like the fucking climate people. Okay. Journalists, we should really trust them. Journalists like Al Jazeera Plus and Salon.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
A specific model of manhood geared towards complete dominance and control that devalues women and emotions and overvalues extreme self-reliance. In other words, toxic masculinity is...
When men say to me, you are weak, but, oh, by the way, I use my strength to serve that weakness, how is that devaluing women? What does the weakness matter? What does the weakness matter if you can order people around with it? Because they do value you. This is the frustrating thing. They have absolutely no evidence that anyone devalues women. None whatsoever. I want to get through this. This is like, are we even going to be able to get through this? This is like 11 minutes. What are we on?
We're halfway through it, basically. But we don't have to. We're gonna skip the ones that we've already done. So technically, it's gonna be shorter than that. All right, here we go.
Just skip to the next top one. I'm tired of listening to this bitch.
Okay.
So 6:45. Sorry, guys. I'm just done.
The 22-year-old who killed 6 people in Santa Barbara. He wrote and vlogged his frustrations about feeling like a loser because he didn't receive attention from women. He wrote, "I will punish all females for the crime of depriving me of sex." He also held racist resentment towards black men who had girlfriends, and new reporting shows that he was interested in Nazism.
I don't know about the Nazism thing. I don't know about that. I can't trust her.
Do you really think that a half Asian boy would get a good shake with the Nazis?
Yeah, really. I don't know what that means. I know that he was subscribed to the Young Turks. I don't know if those guys are the Nazis you're talking about. Then maybe you can make a case for that. But you know what the problem was with Elliot Rodger? His mother, he was separated from his mother really early on, and his stepmom fucking abused him. She treated him like absolute dog shit. So what did he spend the rest of his life doing? Trying to get love from women because his mother was missing and his stepmother did not treat him well.
He didn't. It's so funny. He hated women. That's why he valued their attention so much.
Yeah.
Fucking what? Okay, so this guy stabbed 3 men to death, shot another man, and shot 2 women. So why was he punishing the men?
And then he killed himself.
And then he killed himself. Was it because he thought the men were getting the sex he wasn't? So he's killing men for getting the sex he wasn't and women for not giving it to him. And how is this misogyny and not sociopathic narcissism? Mm-hmm. He saw everyone in terms of his own needs. He saw no value in men at all because they couldn't give him the attention he craved. And he wanted to kill women for not giving them the attention he craved. How is that not sociopathic narcissism? Like, why would this be toxic masculinity? What? Because men feel entitled to women's bodies, that's why they kill other men?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So just... And what do the ravings of a deranged man-child have to do with men in general anyway? Like, this is another anomaly. Like, they find the anomalies and say, oh yes, this paints everything, everybody. It's all on a continuum. It's all on a continuum, these anomalies. All the toxic masculinity. You're all on a continuum. Mangria is on a continuum with Elliot Rodger. It's like, what? What did they, like... It's, all it is the observation that men do bad things to people sometimes and also drink mangria. It's vacuous. It's an vacuous observation because women do bad things and children do bad things to people. And space aliens do bad things to people. Anyway.
I mean, sometimes. That was the last one that you had as a top. So, I mean, it doesn't get... we've seen most of the rest. They talk about cucks, and they mention the Richard Spencer clip. There's really nothing else.
How long have we been going?
We've been going for a little over a half hour. Yeah.
Okay. Shit. No, we've been going longer than that. Because we started...
Well,
so we've been going about 45 minutes.
Okay.
40,
yeah, for some reason, the live stream in the live stream control room, it gives you how long it's been going, but it always feels like it hasn't been going. It's been going longer than what it says. Like it's telling me 35
like it's
minutes.
Been lying to you.
Yeah, so I don't know how that works, but whatever.
Oh wait, we also were yapping with you guys for quite a while before we even started.
This is true.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think we've been going longer than it says by a little bit at least. Rambam 3000 says, "Can you drop the link to that historical study about women's status that you mentioned?" Yeah, well, I have it here. I'll put it in the low bar in the Aftershow. Just give me a second to edit. I won't be able to edit it now for some reason. It won't let me do that. I think it's because we've already started.
Did you send the email? Did you send the email?
Yeah, I sent it.
Okay, good. Okay, guys, what do you think? Do you need any more of this? Because this is getting sort of fucking annoying.
It's pretty cancerous.
It's pretty cancerous. It's like I hate bringing this stuff and like going through it because it's depressing as fuck. I want to get to the point where this just rolls off of people's backs, because the real reason why they get to do what they do is because people believe them. They agree with them, and men, you know, not necessarily you guys, but men allow this shit to be real, and it's bullshit. They allow they allow them to manipulate their identities and their actions and their behaviors to this bullshit. And that's why I do it, because I want to see guys be able to fight back against this. That's why I love that Peterson clip.
Oh,
You've made me uncomfortable. What right do you have? It was like the highlight of my year. Okay. Because it shows a guy he's gonna say how this woman has affected him. Of course, he walks back from it, but he did it, which is good.
He took the initial step.
Yeah, he took the initial step, and I think that if more men do that, we'd have a fighting chance. Oh, my back hurts. How are you doing, Brian?
I'm good. We can quit. I think we've
Honestly,
gone long enough. There's
Okay,
not much else in here. I mean, I'm looking at the only problem. I mean, it's not a problem. I'm looking at the comments underneath this video. There's a lot of comments that make me sad for the world.
Why?
Because they just openly agree with it. Like, oh, this is great.
Oh,
I love this video.
I was reading through some of those, and I kind of lost faith in humanity for.
I'm one of the good ones. I know that there's lots of bad men, but us good men are still here, guys. Please notice me and love me, because my mother didn't, and my father was not around. That's basically the comment section, is women saying yes, queen, and men saying please don't lump me in with those bad men over there, because I want your love and affection and compassion so badly that I'm willing to do whatever you want to earn your respect. But I don't know what respect looks like. Anyway.
Man. I'm really glad you guys are here, so that so that you can know what respect looks like.
Ironically, AJ Plus uses a girl that is reasonably attractive to talk about how bad gender roles are for women. Can't even see through it. But anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap the show up. Mr.
They
go
took
ahead.
her out of the... sorry.
Go ahead, Mr.
No,
Ridley.
go ahead.
I was just going to say they took her out of the burqa just for the video.
Well, I mean, her last... I thought she was Middle Eastern, but her name is Fiorentini. I think she's Italian or something. I don't think she actually... She works at AJ Plus, but I don't think she lives in Qatar. I think that she's in New York. I just from that background. And what's with this slightly off-kilter angle that this is filmed at? Did you notice that, Allison, when we were watching the video? She's at a very, like a 20-degree angle. It's really annoying. I don't know if that's supposed to be artsy, but it's really annoying because it's not... Like, if you're going to do an angle shot, you have to do something a little bit more... you gotta, like, go for it more, right? If you just do a really slight one, it looks like a mistake. It looks like the camera's not straight.
It looks like a red piece of garbage.
Yeah, like he just doesn't know how to use a tripod. But when it's at a slight angle, that's what... But if you're gonna go for an angle, go for it. Don't do this, like... I don't know what the fuck this is. It looks like she's
Slight
tipping
angle
over.
shit.
Yeah. She needs a V8. All right, well, anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. Guys, so thanks for joining us on the After Show, and we'll talk to you, I don't know, next week. Maybe.
Yeah.